right, Valerie Glenn up on deck. She in here? We need some transportation justice.
That's some good information. That's some good information.
Valerie Glenn.
That's good information.
All right, then we're moving to Reverend Bullock, our fearless leader from Highland Park. Here he is, the one and only environmental justice worker justice.
Give it up for Michelle Martinez. Give it up, make some noise. Give it up, make some noise. Let me hear you scream. No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! Let me hear you make some noise! Somebody say, save the workers. Save our jobs. Save our families. Save our children. Stop the violence. Save the children. Save public education. If you're going to do it, make some noise. How you doing, Valerie? Valerie number one. You know what? We're here today because we're not going away into the shadows quietly. We're not going to tuck our tail and run. We're here today because we have declared that we're going to fight back. My name is David Bullock, Highland Park NAACP, Rainbow Push, Detroit, Greater St. Matthew Baptist Church. But more than that, I am a freedom fighter. Fighter for social justice and freedom. You know what? If the banks can be bailed out on Wall Street, then somebody ought to say, where the hell is the bailout for Main Street? You know, if the insurance companies can get a check from the taxpayers that allows their debt to be wiped away, and somehow we have 90,000 forced evictions called foreclosures in the city of Detroit. We've got 90,000 vacant lots of vacant homes. We've got small businesses drying up because they can't get loans from the banksters who have become gangsters. We've got public education being destroyed. The achievement gap in public education widening, not being closed. We've got state representatives voting for online computer education but won't even make sure that children in urban and rural communities have computers. How you gonna vote for online education without making sure schools have computer labs? I don't know about you, but I'm getting fed up. I thought this was an action today. Somebody ought to say fed up. I mean, I'm getting tired of this stuff. You know when we got voter suppression laws in Michigan? In the House you got 741, 742, 743, 744, 745. Those are the House bills, 803 and 847. And they say in the name of voter integrity that they're going to start challenging ballots all over the state of Michigan. Now you and I know if you haven't filed fraud anywhere in the state, why are you introducing legislation to fight a problem that everybody knows we don't have, but we don't have legislation to fight the problems that we do have? We don't need public policy fighting voter fraud. We need public policy that stops the decimation and destruction of democracy. You know, when Moses was in Egypt, Pharaoh was the problem. You know, when slaves were down south, it was overseers and slave masters. But now Michigan is the new Mississippi, and the problem is emergency managers. Governor Snyder is the new Governor Wallace. And he's bringing Southern segregation sensibilities to Michigan, and he's robbing us of our right to vote. The vote in Michigan means nothing because of Public Act 4, and we got sold out by those elected officials on the city council that signed a consent agreement, and we're going to say we're not going to take it anymore. Let me close with this. Privatization is a new profit engine. They're making money now off your dollars by privatizing everything. Privatizing prisons, privatizing schools, privatizing transportation. And then the corporate community is going to put money together to build a train to nowhere. We already see with the people move, it just goes around in a circle like a merry-go-round. Now we're going to have a train that goes from downtown to West Grand Boulevard. Who is that train for? If you're going to build a train that goes to the airport. You're going to build a train that connects the suburbs and urban communities. You're going to build a train that run down Gresham, that run down Jefferson, that run down Woodward, so that we can be connected to the jobs. One job for every 6 person in the urban community, 6 jobs for every 1 person in the suburban community. We need to be connected by a regional transportation system that works for the people. So let us never give up. Let us never throw in the towel. It get dark sometime, but we fight on. It get rough sometime, but we keep marching. You can't win the movement on Facebook. Sometimes you got to go from the suites to the streets. You can't win the movement on Twitter. Sometimes you got to knock on your neighbor's door and reach out and touch somebody. But I promise you, the people united will never be defeated. If you're ready to stand up, let me hear you make some noise.
Thank you so much, Valerie Glenn, fearless activist organizer on transportation justice.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if I want to come behind my minister, Reverend Bullock, but I will try to follow up. It's kind of a strange deja vu, because I remember when this looked like the New York Grand Central Station. Woohoo! And this is what we've got now for transportation. I don't know if any of you have been following it, but to me, transportation is a human as well as civil right. In this city, we do not have any transportation. The buses don't come. The cabs will not come to your house. We are confined to where we are. We can't get out. We can't get educated. We can't get jobs. In 1970, when I first returned from college, I came here, I remember worrying about how people would get to work. Now it's magnified. We do not have any transportation. Originally, I was wondering why I was speaking here in front of the Rosa Parks Terminal. However, this is really apropos, because this is where our present transportation service is taking us. This is what we look like today. Nothing. So I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. I belong to several groups, including Rainbow Push, National Action Network, on and on and on. But I want you to start following our blog, Free Detroit. What is it, Stephen? Thank you. FreeDetroitBlogspot.com for all information, as well as the Occupy Blogspot. Because you need to know when we meet. You need to come to meetings. You need to, it's already kind of too late. We are at the point in which we no longer have transportation. It has been privatized. So now we need to continue to fight. It is connected with the consent agreement. It's connected with the takeover of Detroit. It's connected with our demise. So activists, what do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! Transportation is justice! Why do we want it? Now! Let's move! Are we ready to go to the next spot?
We're getting ready now. I just want to call up the students from the Freedom School. They have an announcement for us. Students from the Freedom School have an announcement for us. While they're making their way up here, I just want everybody to have a moment of silence for our dead train station. We will rise.
We're the Detroit Freedom School, and thank you guys.
Take your time.
Sorry. We talked earlier, but we didn't quite have our list of demands or the contact numbers for you guys to call, and we didn't actually clarify what to call and say or to email and say in support of us. So what would be nice if you guys could do was like use these contacts. You can write like a letter, you can email, you can call the phone number, or you can do all three. And just tell them like how you're in support of us and why you think our demands should be paid attention to. And our list of demands is on this list in case you guys are like wondering. And also we have a petition that we're going around with. So like if any of you guys want to sign it, it's to get our suspensions revoked. So that would help us out a lot. If you guys could like come pick this flyer up and at any time today sign our petition to take away our suspensions. You guys want me to read the demands?
Yes! Yeah. Read them!
Our list of demands to DPS includes not to close Southwestern High School, not to close Mayday Elementary, removal of our suspensions for the kids who had walked out, don't keep students away from school for walking out to stand up for what we believe in. We want the suspension removed off of our school records. Don't press any criminal charges on any children involved in the walkout. Stop violating students' rights. Don't take phones and search through and delete content. Do not lay hands on students. No more physical attacks on students. No more favoritism in who is and not being targeted for suspensions. No more favoritism to certain students, student groups, or sports teams.
Honor the DPS Code of Conduct. School supplies, toilet paper, hand soap. Clean bathrooms and facilities. Stop making students feel like we're in prison. Higher expectation for students. Better college prep. Stability students, teachers who will actually be there for us who are qualified. Smaller class sizes. Protection of teachers and the union. We want equal opportunity to education. Stop selling away our community assets. We're students, not money signs or criminals. Stop running the schools like a business or a prison. Give students an equal say in what goes on in all DPS schools. Give students a place in the decision-making process. We want a voice. We need to invest more into our education than what our test scores are going to be. We need a better education, not students' fault that money isn't being used correctly. We need teachers that teach, adequate books and supplies. Remove the emergency financial manager. Give control of the schools back to community by reinstating the school board. Stop closing DPS schools. Go with what we have. Stop closing everything down. Fix what we have. Stop closing DPS schools and allowing the chartering of many schools. Stop turning schools into profit businesses. We demand respect.
Generators.